The children need to be protected from these phones, these internet phones, because those phones are destroying the kids' minds. The kids are learning about things that they shouldn't even be learning about, that they shouldn't know about. They are becoming exposed to too much at a very young age. Before they can even read and write, they know how to use the phone. 3-year-olds know how to scroll up and down. They know how to click on pages. They know how to use a phone before they can read and write. This is very worrying. The kids' minds are being imprinted with images, with things that they shouldn't even see, that they shouldn't even be subjected to. They are becoming fascinated by these phones. They are becoming addicted to these phones. And the addiction begins at a very early age. And this is very, very damaging. Because a child's development shouldn't consist of having a phone in their hand at all times. It's wrong. It's damaging. It's satanic. They're looking at these phones before they can even speak, some of them. You are helping Satan to destroy lives. If you give your kids these phones from a young age, you have to say no. You have to stop it. You have to stamp it out. You are the parent. Those kids should only be learning from you and not from the internet. The internet is polluted, it's wicked, it's unregulated, it's full of demons, it's full of unclean spirits. The people that have uploaded some of these things, it's evil transmission, it's evil intention, it's evil ideas, it's evil education. Yes, it can be used for good as well. The child doesn't know the difference. The child will gravitate to the sinister, evil and wicked things. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This is what it reminds me of. They didn't know that it would lead to death. They was told, they was warned, they had the curiosity, they had the fascination. They wanted to find out for themselves. Even though they was warned that it was dangerous, that it was forbidden. And it's the same thing with these phones, with these young kids. Because they are warned to turn your phone off when you go to bed or whenever. They're waking up, looking at the phones until 2 a.m, looking at things that they shouldn't be looking at. The damage has been done. The damage has been done. They've got ideas, they've got images in their minds. They've seen things that they shouldn't see. And it's very, very worrying. It's very, very dangerous to the whole of humanity, because this is the young generation coming up. This is the young generation coming up. People in the older generations wasn't subjected to these type of things. We don't even know the outcome yet. Well, we do. Because the behavior and the standards and the levels of concentration in youngsters, in young people, the mentality of young people is so violent, they're so aggressive compared to years ago. I would say that this is because of these phones, 100%. The UK government is actually considering banning the use of kids using phones under the age of 5. And also in the schools, they are banning phones in schools. As you come into the school, you have to put your phone into a safe place, in a box or somewhere. You'll have your own private place that you have to put your phone. Any kid that's got the phone in the classroom will be sent home. I know in Australia they have a similar system right now. But it's all too little too late. As I always say, Once the damage has been done, once the horse is bolted from the stable, how can you bring it back? How can you bring it back? How can you call it back? You can't. Once the animal is infested with fleas, how can you get the fleas off? It's almost impossible. This is what's happened. This is why Satan knows every single kid has a phone. Think about it. If you was to ask someone, what's the best way to destroy a society? What's the best way to infiltrate into every single mind, into every single child, a whole generation? What's the best way? And the best way would be exactly as has been done in this generation and before. Introducing these phones, these internet phones, the social media nonsense, the TikTok, uploading videos on TikTok, it leads to demonic and wicked behavior, because everybody is trying to outdo everybody else. It leads to inhumane behavior, victimization, wicked behavior, bullying. And this is the road that people have decided to go down by allowing every child to walk around with these phones. You can't stop it now, can you? It's gone too far. That phone is almost a lethal weapon. That phone is something that has the power to kill, has the power to take away life in the long run. Just the tongue has the power to kill. The phone is the same. The phone is something that can destroy lives. It's almost a means of demonic education. We never had phones years ago, internet phones. But if we knew the power of evil within these gadgets, we would have put restrictions on them years ago. They're not just a means of communication between one person and another like a normal phone years ago. It goes way beyond that. It's a way of indoctrinating the young minds. Why do you think Satan created this technology? Why do you think he gave people the ability to create this technology? It's all part of a long-term strategy to pollute the minds, to educate the minds in wickedness, in demonic activity, in demonic behavior, in demonic doctrines, in the occult. Nothing good would ever come of it for the youngsters using these phones. Nothing. And Satan knows it. Amen. This is why it's so very dangerous. This is why we have to do something right now about it. It can't just be allowed to free fall, to just continue, just run out of control. We can't just leave it. We need to be parents. Parents need to be parents. Parents need to be the boss. Understand that you are playing into the hands of the enemy. You need to look deep into it. You have to put your foot down and you have to say, no, you're not having any phones in this house. You tell me one way that a phone will help your child. You tell me one way. A child that's under the age of 5. Tell me one way. Is that how you want your child to learn? Even a child under the age of 16. They're not doing independent study. They're getting all the answers from the internet on their phones. They're not opening books and doing their own research. They're copy and pasting and getting all the answers off the internet. So it's even limiting creativity. All the time that they're on those phones. Years ago, people used to do art, they used to do drawings, they used to read poetry, they used to be building things, creative, making models. You don't see that anymore. You don't see it. They used to be doing so many creative things. The creativity that God gave them right throughout the early years. But now all that time has been taken up by these phones because they've become a complete distraction from everything. They've taken over a child's mind. The time that a child would be out playing socializing, doing this and doing that. It's all been taken up by these phones. They've overloaded. They've become a priority in the child's mind. It's the biggest destructive thing that was ever created in the whole of humanity. I'm telling you right now. This is what's happened. What happens when they click onto the wrong things? You are subjecting them to things that they shouldn't be seeing. You didn't even tell your kids these things yourself. They haven't reached the right age to learn these things. This is how mental illness comes onto people years later. This is the root cause of mental illness. Of seeing obscenities. They might click onto something. Somebody's been killed. Somebody's been tortured. Somebody's been beaten up. It's all very, very, very bad indeed. It's not like a normal TV. When things are censored, the internet is basically uncensored to any kind of anybody who's filmed anything. It's available. It's available on that phone. Anything in the world. Is that right? Do you think that's good? I think it's terrible. I think it's damaging. It's going to damage a whole generation. As a worldwide society, it's extremely evil and wicked. It's bad. Because Satan knows if you attack the mind, then the body will crumble, the body will fall. The mind is the stability. The mind is the engine of the ship, you know? So that's why he's promoting this kind of technology, this AI, quantum computing, developing these phones year after year. It's really ramping up. It's getting out of control. But we need to protect the children. Amen? Because if there is generations to come, which I doubt there will be, then we are the ones who will be held to blame for allowing it to happen, when we should have put restrictions on these things, on these gadgets. When the adults are suffering from mental illness in years to come, then we know who will be to blame for that. A child's mind at a young age is a blank slate. So what you want that child to learn, the things that you want that child to understand, and the things that you allow your child to be exposed to, will develop their personality. The levels of what is normal and what is abnormal will be through that early learning experience. So if you introduce reading books to your kids, basic reading books with pictures, the things that they should be learning for their age, stuff that's educational for learning, for early development. If you are with those kids at the same time as they're learning, if you are monitoring them, that is a wonderful thing. That is a wonderful thing. But if you just leave your child to their own devices, just to shut them up, just to keep them quiet, or you go in the corner with your phone, go and play with your phone, then you give them the free will. And then you say, oh, that's good, they're not crying anymore. That's kept them amused for a while. But you don't understand what you're doing. It's like if you give your kids poison, something dangerous, poison to play with, because you're poisoning the mind, you're infecting the mind. Wicked and evil thoughts are going to come into their minds because kids can learn. Kids don't know the difference between what is good and what is evil. All the learning is done in a child when they're young. What you learn as a child, you will keep with you into adulthood. All of these things is capturing their attention, and it's very damaging. We need to be very careful, because we can't just allow our kids to be subjected to things that they shouldn't see and things that they shouldn't learn. I wouldn't allow, knowing what I know now about the internet, about the dangers of the internet, about what these phones can do, I wouldn't allow a young child of mine to have a phone under the age of... As a child, you're not having one. You're not having one. You're not having one. You can shout and scream as much as you want. You can learn everything from books, or if they do use the phones, they will use them when I'm there watching them. And no phones is going upstairs to the bedroom. You leave your phone downstairs. You know? We have to try to protect the young ones' minds. If you're bothered about the future generations, if there is going to be a future, and I very much doubt it, if you don't, we're going to end up with deviant, delinquent, perverted individuals that have had a taste for the obscene and the wicked, even for the occult, for all kinds of filth, everything that you can think of, because they'll have experienced and they will have an affinity to it. They will be drawn to it, and that will have developed from a young age. Kids just can't be kids anymore. That's the problem. You know, kids just want to, and Satan knows it. He's targeting the kids. If you didn't know that, I'm telling you right now, he is targeting the kids. I know this video is going to have so many people against me. Maybe some people will be supporting it. I don't know. It's up to you. But I'm just putting it out there. Thanks for watching anyway. And take care of yourselves. God bless you. Shalom.